The rose I got because in honor of a little girl that saved my life. She was 2 when I met her, and her middle name is Rose. And when I was in college is when all these memories kind of started resurfacing, and I finally started addressing things because I was getting my degree in psychology because I wanted to help people because I was broken.
Right. You're like,
right? Like that's how it works.
Me too.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in those classes, I realized we were talking about, abnormal psychology and depression and all of these things. I'm like, ooh, that's my normal. I probably should get help. And kind of heard the Lord say, like, if you want to help others, you need to let me help you first.
Right.
So I started my counseling journey, which made things a lot worse before it got better. And that's just tends to be how it goes. I know anyone listening that it's bad right now and they're like, oh, I'm not going to counseling now. Heck no.
Right, exactly.
Trust me, it's worth it. Still do it. It's it's a necessary part of the process. And I'm sorry, I just said that cuss word, but process is how God works through things. And I know when I started, I was like, 6 months and this will be done. And
exactly.
it's like years later. So anyway, I met this little girl during this time when I wanted nothing more but to die. I really did. My eating disorder was like all-time high. I couldn't sleep. I was having night terrors. I was dealing with panic, like feeling like people were following me. And being fearful that the people that had trafficked me and were a part of that circle were somehow tracking me down and all this crazy stuff. And oftentimes seeing this little girl was the only reason I got out of bed every morning. And she was the daughter of my professor, and she would bring her to work with her all the time. And that was the first human connection I allowed. Because she was safe. She was 2. Like she couldn't hurt me. She didn't know how to do that.
Right.
And it was just incredible how God used her even to make me eat, because we would sit and she would take her little fishies, soggy with her spit, like shove them in my mouth, and she'd get very upset if I split them out. So I would have to eat them. And her mom she's a psychologist, so she knew. And we would just sit there and we would just cry. Like it was just, I really experienced the love of Christ first through her and that family, really that whole entire family, because that was a lot. And I went against boundaries all the time. Survivors of trauma tend to do that. Like, do you really love me? Are you sure you really love me? How about, what if I do this?
Right.
And so they had every reason to like write me out of their life. And they never did.